Hey guys, we are back from Christmas break. We had a long time to rest and relax, and I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. But now it's time to get back into CC and into the swing of things. So here is week 13. Hey guys, this is for Cycle 2, Week 13, Memory Work. We are starting off with history this week, and we learned about the Industrial Revolution. So, for these hand motions, we're going to start off with the W for Watts steam engine. So we have Watts, and then for steam engine, you're going to bring up another W, and then move your hands like this, like a train. Alright, so we have Watts steam engine. Then for Cartwright's power loom, you're going to do a C for Cartwright. And then for power loom, bring up another C, and you're going to turn them into each other like that. All right, so Cartwright's power loom. And Whitney's cotton gin, you're going to bring up another W. And then for the cotton gin, you're just going to crank it like that. Whitney's cotton gin. Then spurred, so you're going to take your hands and push them out. So spurred. The Industrial Revolution. For this, you're just going to bring your hands up one at a time, up and down. And then that began in the 17, hold up a 7, and then 60s, hold up a 6. So we're going to do that began in the 1760s. Okay? Let's do that all together. Here we go. Watts steam engine, Cartwright's power loom, and Whitney's cotton gin spurred the Industrial Revolution that began in the 1760s. Okay, so that was history. That was a fun little song for us this week. And then moving to Latin, it was a repeat from week 1 and 2. So we got this down really quickly. So our first one was O, and we had a big O. Then S, we move our hands like a snake. And then for T, we're going to make a big T. So we have O-S-T. And then for must, tis, int, we're going to have our mustache, mush, muss. Then for tis, we're going to do kiss. And then int, we're going to squish those ants. So we have must, tis, int. So all together we go O-S-T, must, tis, int. O-S-T, must, tis, int. O-S-T, must, tis, int. First conjugation, present tense. Alright, so that was Latin, and we're going to do that same thing next week. So you guys are going to be rock stars with Latin by the end of this year, because we're just going to repeat everything we learned from our first semester. Now for English, we're finishing up our indefinite pronouns. So for week 11 and 12, we started our indefinite pronouns with all, another, any, anybody, all of those. Now this week we're starting off with nobody. So we're going to have hand motions for all of these. So for nobody, you're just going to shake your head, nobody. Then none, you're going to give me a thumbs down, none. One, just hold up the number 1. Other, you're just going to hike your thumb this way, other. Then for several, you're going to take your hands and you're just going to go like this. Like you see several things all over the place. Several. Then for some, we're going to go like this because it's smaller than several. Then for somebody, you're going to take your hand and you're going to push them down your body. So somebody. Someone, hold up the 1 again. And then such, you're going to put your hands out and then shrug your shoulders. Such. So let's do that all together. We have nobody, none, one, other, several, some, somebody, someone, such. Alright, so that was English. Then for science, we had what are some names of U.S. space missions? So we have some names of U.S. space missions are Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, and Shuttle. And we had hand motions for this one too, but I thought this one was pretty fun to do. So for Mercury, we made an M and we shot it up in the air. So we have Mercury. Then for Gemini, with your hand in the air, you're going to go across your body. So we have M for Mercury up in the air, then Gemini goes across. Then Apollo, you're going to bring this hand up and make a circle, and you're going to circle around Apollo. Then for Shuttle, you're going to make a fist, and you're going to bring him down. All right, so we have Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, and Shuttle. All right, so that was science. Then math this week, we had liquid equivalent. And we talked about liquid, and usually you use it to measure how much you're drinking, or if you're making like lemonade or some kind of liquid drink. All right, so for math this week, we met our new gallon man, and we talked about all the different parts of him. And so we have 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup, 2 cups equals 1 pint, 2 pints equals 1 quart, and 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. So our song goes to the tune of Sally the Camel. So it goes like this. 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup, 2 cups equals 1 pint, 2 pints equals 1 quart, 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. Alright, so that was a fun little tune for us to sing today. And then for geography, we have Northern European countries. So our Northern European countries are going to be all up here in this area. So for Norway, we just circled this purple area right here. Gave it a nice little outline, and that is Norway. Then our next one is Sweden, and we just gave him some dots all over. And that is the orange right beside Norway. Then for Finland, that's going to be this green right here, and we gave him stripes like a zebra. So that was Finland. And then our last one was Denmark, and he comes all the way down here. This is a little pink right here, so we just colored all of the pink in. So we have Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. That was our geography. Then for timeline this week, we started off with Age of Exploration, circa 1400 to circa 1600. So for this one, you're just going to explore all around you. And we go Age of Exploration, circa 1400 to circa 1600. Then we have Prince Henry Found's School of Navigation. For this one, we're going to do an H for Henry. So that's these 2 fingers and your thumb out. So Prince Henry Found's. And then for School of Navigation, pretend like we're driving a big old bus. All right, so we have Prince Henry Found's School of Navigation. Then slave trade in Africa. And for this one, you're going to make fists with your hands, cross them in front of you. So slave trade in Africa. Our next one is Gutenberg's printing press. And so that one, you're going to make a G, which is just your pointer finger and your thumb out, Gutenberg, and you're going to put it on your hand. And then you're just going to move it up and down. So Gutenberg's printing press. Then that brings us to Songhai in Africa. And so for this one, you're going to make your hand like this. So your pinky out and your thumb out. Touch your ear and bring it down like your beautiful jewelry. So we go Songhai in Africa. Then our next one is Tsar Ivan the Great of Russia. So for this one, we're going to do an I for Tsar Ivan the Great. We always raise the roof for the Great. And then of Russia, you're going to put your hands like this. So just open your hands like that. And you're going to go in and out at your waist. So we have Tsar Ivan the Great of Russia. And then our last one is the Spanish Inquisition. And so for this one, you were going to pretend like you were angry and you're shaking your finger at somebody. And then you're going to send them out. All right, so we go the Spanish Inquisition. All right, so let's do that all together. Starting with Age of Exploration. So here we go. Age of Exploration, circa 1400 to circa 1600. Prince Henry Found's School of Navigation, slave trade in Africa. Gutenberg's printing press, Songhai in Africa. Tsar Ivan the Great of Russia, the Spanish Inquisition. All right, good job with that. That is all of our memory work for this week. And then we're just going to review what we did for fine arts and science. So first things first, with fine arts this week, we learned about Rembrandt. And Rembrandt has a crazy long and kind of difficult to say name. And probably because of that, he went by Rembrandt. And he's one of the only artists that went by one name. And so he was born in 1606 in Holland, and he liked to practice his paintings by making drawings of himself. And so he'd look in the mirror and draw what he would see, and he would make funny faces and silly faces, and he would draw that. And then also, this was before the camera was invented, and so there was no photography, and people wanted pictures of their family, and so they would pay him to make portraits of their family. So today we did a recreation of his painting of the lake with the sailboat, and so we made that easy for our kids to do. And so we have our little sailboat here, and we've got our little marsh going on and some waves in the water. And then back here in the background, we've got a little town and some bushes. And so we made this really simple for you guys to be able to do. And then as you get older, we'll be able to add more and more detail to it. But you guys did excellent with this drawing today. And then for science, we did 2 different experiments. The first one was called Spoon Bell. And so that one we had a long piece of string and a spoon and our fingers. And that's what we used for the experiment. So we tied the string to the spoon, and then we took the ends of the strings and we put them on our fingers, and then we plugged our ears, and then we were able to swing the spoon to hit a hard surface. And some people used a chair, some people used the part of the stage that we had or the table. And so what we were able to see was that the pitch was different from when our ears were not plugged versus when they were plugged. And then we also learned about our next experiment was the humming glass. And so we had our big glass, and then we had some vinegar, and we dipped our fingers in the vinegar, and when we held the bottom of the glass, we were able to circle our fingers around the glass, and we heard this light, like whistling sound almost. And then when we added some water to it, the pitch of the whistle changed. And then the more water we put in it, the deeper it got. And so that was fun to practice with and to see just how fast we needed to go or how hard we had to press in order to get the sound to come out. And then just all the different variables that go along with using the glass, and if it was too wet on the outside, or just where to actually place your fingers. And so we got a lot of science in, we got a lot of learning and experimenting in, and you guys did excellent with that. And so that is it for week 13. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see you guys back for week 14. Bye.